Hello summoners, welcome back to another damage comparison video. This one is going to be between Moleman and Hit Monkey, and we're going to decide once and for all who is the skill Corvus in Marvel Contest of Champions. But before we talk about that, I guess you would have already noticed that we have a little bit of a different format here in this damage comparison, and you can actually see the power meter. Now do let me know if you guys prefer this, because in order to make that happen, the aspect ratio of this video is 1:1 instead of the usual 16:9, and I'm not really sure how that would look on YouTube, so do let me know what way you prefer going forward. But anyways, coming back to these two characters, they are of course very hard hitting skill characters with guaranteed crits and a lot of bleed damage. And Moleman, like ever since his buff, he's kind of like a mix of a skill Corvus and Captain Marvel movie, because you have to manage the charges and stuff. Of course, the first thing you're going to notice with Moleman is that you don't really have big yellow numbers. You have a lot of yellow numbers, ever since you get Frenzy the first time. Like compared to Captain Marvel movie, it's much easier to keep his charges, and the fact that you can get an opening on demand because of the unstoppable on the block thing is huge. Like there are very few characters in the game who can get opening on demand, like without parrying or intercepting. Like only characters that come to mind are like Ghost or Quake, and it's not perfect because you do have to take some block damage and stuff, but it is a very effective way to gain openings. And also, like, I'm not really sure what the best rotation is for him. Like I've seen a lot of people use SP1s, and some people go for SP2s. I think overall for damage output, SP1s might be better, but because we are running suicide masteries and recoil is also a factor, I decided to mix up those two because I didn't want to be too low on health. But as you can see, like, he is just doing a ridiculous amount of damage. He has a pretty decent lead at this point, and Hit Monkey, even though he has bigger crits, and of course both these characters, they were called skill Corvus when they were released, but and like in a way, for longer fights, of course they are better because they are not limited by glaive charges and stuff. You can just keep this up, and like Moleman, he's just so smooth. Like you can just throw in the heavy attacks after baiting specials, or you can just block and the opponent will come at you. You'll become unstoppable and you can go for heavy there, gain 4 more charges, or if nothing else is working, you can always go for SP3, and that will just give you a lot of charges, so you should be good that way as well. And there is just a lot of shock damage, and if like you can sacrifice the damage output for utility, and that is a big thing that I have been seeing a lot. A lot of people say that you have to sacrifice the damage for utility, which is fine, because I have seen people use him in Alliance 4 for stuff like the rightmost mini boss with the evade thing, and he still crushes. Like even and I personally use my rank 3 6-star unawakened one in Cavalier difficulty. That chapter is made for him. He gets like 10 furies really quickly, and you don't even have to worry about frenzy or anything. Like you can go frenzy and you'll probably just finish the fight in one combo. But as you can see, like Moleman, he wins this by a huge margin, and of course they are both 565 characters with suicide masteries and synergies and stuff like that. So like Moleman, I think between the two, in my opinion, and I might be biased because I like Moleman is my first rank 3, but in my opinion he is definitely the better character of the two. He has more utility. I'm not sure what utility Hit Monkey actually brings, because I don't have one. Huge shout out to a subscriber who sent over the Hit Monkey gameplay. I don't really know, or I don't remember his name. It was not an easy name, but anyways, thanks, and hope you enjoyed the video. Like these P2s on Hit Monkey, they have a lot of hits, they do a lot of bleed damage as well. Overall, like his damage output is definitely not the problem. He is kind of like, he doesn't have the biggest health pool, I feel. And even with Moleman, you would see that at the end we didn't have that much health left. But again, with suicide masteries are not ideal for longer fights like this, when you don't have a way to get past recoil, because you can the bleed and poison damage is actually not as bad. But in longer fights like this, because you are throwing so many special attacks, it's mostly just recoil killing you at that point. But I'm not sure, I don't think Hit Monkey has very great block proficiency and stuff like that. At least it looks like a class cannon kind of character, better, but he will be finishing this fight rather soon. So that is going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you prefer this type of damage comparisons, because you can see the power meter, which is definitely a huge part of Marvel Contest of Champions, but at the same time you will also have this weird 1:1 ratio. But that's going to do it. Bye bye, stay safe, have a good one.